So the plot thickens. Now, guys, as a lot of you know, about 2 days ago, they caught 11 Iranian men sneaking across the border. So, of course, with everything going on in Iran, and of course, after we bomb Iran, now all of a sudden they caught 11 dudes sneaking across the border. But there's increased security now across the country because of everything that's going on, because what happened in Iran, because they caught 11 dudes. Now all the agencies or city agencies around the United States are stepping up security and advising their employees for more awareness, or rather that we should have more awareness, keep our head on a swivel kind of deal. Now, whether I believe it's Iranians going to do this or us, it's irrelevant. What's starting to drum up a little more is that the fact that this attack can happen, especially after a month ago, 2 months ago, when I did a video on something that might happen on July 4th. Now, the timing of everything is starting to come together. And again, whether it's the United States, Israel, Iran, it's irrelevant. We have to focus on, if something does happen, what we're going to do. Now, I did a video on this a couple days ago. I did. But I just remembered that they had something that was supposed to happen July 4th where there might be a virus being spread around. Coincidentally, there was an incident in France where 150 people were pricked with a needle at a music festival. Now, if it's the music festival where I saw the rioting and people acting like savages, I can see that happening there. But as of right now, nothing has come of that other than people were pricked and might be bleeding a little bit. Plus, they're asking them to go get checked out or get their blood checked out to make sure there was nothing in that syringe. So, again, that was over in France. Could we have something like that happen here? Absolutely. The problem with the syringe thing, it could be anything, guys. It could be fentanyl. It could be AIDS. It could be a new arm ticket to wipe you out. It could be some virus. It could be anything. It could be air. Or it could just be someone pricking you for the sake of pricking you. So a lot is going on. A lot of things are going down, and we have to keep our head on the swivel. Again, that whole July 4th thing, that was about a virus being released and it being the Napa virus, and that started affecting people over a few hours to a couple of days, and people started getting sick. But, of course, now, with 11 Iranians being caught, another story comes out how there were missiles that were being brought across the border by Iranians. And I'm like, wait a minute. So now we're just finding out about this because we did what we did in Iran. Now all of a sudden there were weapons being dragged across the border. Now, firearms I understood, but not missiles. So again, that was the story I heard on the Sean Ryan show. And I'm like, they're building a storyline. They're building the narrative. They're building the narrative, guys. So when something happens, we've been programmed to already start blaming the Iranians. And so when it happens, we just jump up out of our seats and go, the Iranians did it. It could be Israel. It could be us. It could be the Chinese, for Christ's sake, blaming the Iranians. It could be the Russians planning this, blaming the Iranians. It could be so many, or it could be the Iranians actually doing this, but I think that's less likely because, again, the storyline that's being built. Narrative or not, the problem is responding to whatever might happen. It could be a multi-level event. It could be a multi-location event where these things are going down all over the United States all at once. That's the problem. The bigger problem is if they use an event to draw us in, first responders, to draw us in, and there's a second device at the location, well, what happens then, right? Everybody that came in to help also gets maimed, killed, or hurt, right? So we have to keep that in the back of our heads. I mean, as much as I like to go down a conspiracy theory hole because I'm not buying this, we still have to be cautious if something does happen that there's not a secondary device or a second attack. If, for example, these guys go boots on ground in the United States in, let's say, Times Square, and they're carrying weapons and they're firing at people. And as they're firing at people, people are going down, people are coming in to help. Now, those people that come in to help, they start getting hit. Now, we do have a policy, if you will, or a tactic. If this is happening, if there is an active event going on with people taking out people with weapons, we're not running in. The cops are going to secure the area off, and if they can get us to certain patients, they will. If not, they won't move us in. And believe it or not, they use firefighters and EMTs for this. We took a training for this a couple years ago, and they had to put on flak jackets and ballistic helmets, and I'm like, the fuck, are we in the military now? I said, now I'm a medic? You know, like, it was the weirdest training in the world, and I actually broke balls about it. I'm like, a lot of people here don't have that training, nor are they going to respond well to bullets whizzing past their heads. Not the point. The point is we got training for this, and we work with the cops, but we haven't actually trained with the cops to actually do this. That's a different story. I don't even want to get into that. Nonetheless, guys, something could happen, but I don't think so. What I think is going to happen is if U.S., Iran, and Israel come to a deal, you're not going to hear about this at all. But if they don't come to a deal, something's undoubtedly going to happen, and they're going to blame them. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.